What is up, everybody? Happy holidays, and I wish y'all many more moving forward. This is your man Ev, aka D2X, and I'm here to wrap up the year 2017 with my final performance breakdown of this calendar year. And this time, we got the Crazy Explosive 2017 right here, so if y'all are ready, let's go ahead and get this thing moving. Now, like I mentioned in the Explosive Bounce review, the Crazy Explosive 2017 brought back the PrimeKnit version, but it also introduced a new budget-friendly mesh setup, which they now call fused mesh. And since there is no real tech specs regarding what fused mesh is composed of, I'm going to skip that and I'm just going to go right into the performance. First time I laced these on, the mesh felt super snug. Like, it was to a point where I was thinking, the shoe lied to me, because if you look at it from the top, it looks like it has a fairly wide enough base to accommodate any foot size. But ironically enough, after I started playing my first game, that tightness wasn't there. In addition to the layered mesh setup, there's also web straps along the lateral and medial side of the shoe to provide that extra containment where you need it. So all in all, you've got the comfortable fused mesh upper, you've got the web straps that extend all the way to the top of the ankle collar, the internal TPU heel counter, and this TPU wrap that's a part of the midsole setup that extends all the way to the back of the heel. There's no question you're going to be locked in no matter what move you decide to make. Before I get into the cushion, I'm going to talk about the overall tooling of the Crazy Explosive 2017 because it is roughly 99.98765% similar to the Crazy Explosive 2016. We've got a full-length boost midsole, which is arguably the best cushion setup on the market right now as far as impact protection and responsiveness goes, but then you have it implemented to where it's caged on the outside and free on the inside because of the rubberized TPU cage. Even though the boost is caged on the outside of the shoe, it doesn't hinder the overall experience or the plush sensation that you typically get from boost. All it does is enable you to have a more stable platform whenever you decide to make certain moves or come down on some pretty solid landings. Now, as far as the volume of boost that's in this shoe, the first time I've experienced boost in a basketball sneaker was the D-Rose 5. The forefoot was just so heavily surrounded by all this other foam and the midsole itself that you almost couldn't tell that there was boost in that shoe. It was a disappointing experience to say the least. So what I decided to do was give these a shot just to compare, and I gotta say, cushion in the Crazy Explosive is almost second to none. There's one particular shoe that I think might have this one beat, but until I get those in hand, boost is king. In addition to the full-length boost, the translucent outsole shows you the full-length spring plate underneath. It keeps your foot from over-flexing, but it also enhances the cushion by providing that propulsive step that you get whenever you're active in the shoe. The traction on the Crazy Explosive 2017 you get from this translucent coral pattern, multi-directional storytelling traction pattern, whatever you want to call it. Now, the rubber on the outsole, it extends all the way to the inside of the toe cap for that additional front to back coverage, but if we're being honest, they call this a multi-directional traction pattern for a reason. There's no limit to how many moves you can make in this shoe. And I've taken the Crazy Explosive to a couple different courts. I have yet to play in these outside just because I feel translucent outsoles have hit and miss durability when it comes to playing on outdoor courts. But on the upside, it sticks to the court like glue if you're inside on hardwood, so by all means, if that's primarily where you plan on hooping in the Crazy Explosive, or any shoe with a translucent rubber compound for that matter, go for it. The Crazy Explosive 2017, being that I never hooped in the 2016, it really lived up to the expectations I had based on those set by everybody that has played in the shoe, and that's really all you can ask for with a predecessor. Great lockdown, cushion, traction, support, which I'm going to touch on right now actually, because the infinity plate, it extends up to the inside of the medial side of the shoe to where it has like this TPU shank right here, so there's no worries about arch support, and so if anybody has any doubts about that, no worries, because you're going to be covered. And that pretty much covers all the bases with performance with the Crazy Explosive. The only thing that might be a red flag for somebody looking to purchase this is the aesthetic, and if you ask me, this looks better than the 2016, so if that's a problem, I think you're just vain as hell. Either that or they just didn't put enough good colorways out, which I can understand. But all aesthetic stuff aside, it's time to give the Crazy Explosive 2017 a grade. This sneaker right here, because it does everything and gives me everything that I desire in a hoop shoe, is an A+ signature model. Now, depending on your playing style, you might give the Crazy Explosive a little less grade than that because there's little to no court feel. But that's only because of the high volume of boost. So if that's something that doesn't really interest you at all, then Go with something that's going to provide that low profile yet responsive ride, like either the explosive bounce, or if they implemented the boost the same way they did last year, the D-Rose 8. But if you're like me and court feel isn't that much of a concern, you really want that sense of impact protection, forefoot cushion, and spring, the Crazy Explosive is one of those models that you really cannot go wrong with. But all in all, man, that's it. The Crazy Explosive is definitely my go-to shoe right now. Second would be the Explosive Bounce, and third, believe it or not, is the KD Tray 5.5. I've really become a fan of that the more I played in it, and I'm actually starting to feel the zoom underneath the forefoot now. But there is one sneaker left on my list to review before others start to roll in, and then we get to see what these other models are coming up with. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop a hint as to which shoe that is right now. If you can guess what shoe that relates to, then you already know what it's gonna be. And that's gonna be my first performance breakdown of 2018. And again, I would like to wish each and every one of you a very happy holiday season, as well as a happy new year as well. I will see y'all for the next one. This is your man Ev, aka D2X. And I will catch y'all next time.